Welcome to the Mortgage Minute. I'm Paul Centopani, joined by home lending expert Mike Eshelman. Jerome Powell's time as Federal Reserve Chair ends in May after serving two straight four-year terms. The president chose Kevin Warsh to be his successor, and now he must pass vetting by the Senate Banking Committee. Mike, I have two questions for you. What does that vetting process look like? And is it merely a formality, or are there things that could potentially hold Warsh back from being appointed?
And it used to be a formality, right? I think for someone of his qualifications, I should say, he's well qualified. He has experience at the Fed. He has experience at Morgan Stanley M&A. He has been at the White House before under George W. Bush at the National Economic Council. He's qualified. What's in question here is whether he will keep the Fed truly independent. Now, the Fed is supposed to look at the data, make decisions based on the data. It's been very critical. This White House has been very critical of Jerome Powell. They've demanded they lower rates. And that means will Warsh, ultimately what will be in question is, will Warsh bend to political pressures from this White House? And if so, that will have a ripple effect. The Fed will no longer be independent. So that's what's going to be in question. Now, it's important to note, the Fed chair doesn't set rates. They're not the decision maker. There is a 12-person board on the committee who ultimately makes the decisions, and they do not decide where mortgage rates are going to be.
Common misconception.
It is a common misconception, but it does influence rates. Now, what could happen is if he does get placed in the chair seat, and if he were to keep the Federal Reserve as independent, great, we'll continue on. Now, if there is a crack in that independence, or even a perception that there is a crack in the independence, that can, even when the Fed lowers rates, if they do that, could increase mortgage rates, and that could be increased for a sustained period of time. So that's what we're looking at with this particular nomination at this particular period of time.
Okay, so perception is reality in this case.
That is true.